everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bridgewater's Vikings going up against Luck's Colts. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now a handoff as they run left side. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Bridgewater. And this one caught by Max Williams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got some space here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run. So the D-line's going to spread out. Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
Vontae Davis is one of the strongest cornerbacks in the league. Equally adept at playing the run and the pass.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Bridgewater to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, it's Luck. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Back to throw, Luck. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. There's some flash on this offense, and certainly some flash with Dorsett.
A flyer out of the University of Miami. Speed is his game, but he's added excellent moves and good hands.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. On second down, here's Locke. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
When I see Sharif Floyd hit the field, I think of all the potential he has, and it's a lot of fun watching that come to the surface.
Third down, 15 yards still needed. Third and long, it's Locke. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And the D looking like they may blitz. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Three yards left to grab here on third down. Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. On third down, Bridgewater. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
20 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for an Indianapolis first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
His throw incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dante Moncrief, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he's able to put it through. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 3rd down and 3. They'll need to get the play off quickly. To throw is Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this will be taken at the 13. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here we go on 4th. Luck. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
They come out here in the eye. Now Luck. That is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd and 10, Luck. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. They come up in an offset eye. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Let's go.
A give to the fullback on the dive. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's got room. And down inside the 15 he goes. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First and goal here from the 2. Now they try the right side here. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts add on to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, Dorsett. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And it's 21-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. Shreds the tackle. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's second down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And fourth down coming up. Here's Pat McAfee now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90.
Bridgewater on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll be a Minnesota first down. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. First down throw for Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Third down, Bridgewater. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Bridgewater now on second down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. Now, that's not a call you see every day. A toss play inside their own 10-yard line. Takes a little bit of brass right there, and they were able to get a little bit of yardage.
The penalty marker will back the offense up, and it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain, they would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line, but how about that defensive front, creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
This is taken at the 18. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Caught left side, Williams. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Here's Bridgewater. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Second down, Bridgewater. Looking for someone to throw to. This will be caught at about the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They come up in an offset eye. On 1st and 10, Locke. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. A strong running. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Pat McAfee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily exit.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses the stiff arm. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll buy some time right, and his throw here's incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. And able to find Dorsett. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Luck on 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
It's caught on the right side. Williams. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Let's go. Play 90.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Let's go. Blue 58. Blue 58.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Get ready. Play 90. Play 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd down following the run.
Get ready. Play 80.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Get ready. Play 90. Play 90.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come up in an offset eye. They come out here in the eye. Desperation time. 4th down. Bridgewater. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Colts are going to win the football game. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. They find some open field here. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on third and short. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
This is tough as a defender because it was well blocked, but someone has to find a way to make a play. Otherwise, you're doing exactly what the defense is doing now, watching the offense celebrate a long game.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Colts, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.